I'd like to welcome everybody to the show tonight. This is your favorite fake 1940s detective synth, whatever you want to call him. It's Detective Malone. I got me subbing in for the MC that was actually supposed to be here. Something happened. They got me doing it. We popped up the screen. There I was. So they said, Malone, you got to come do it. I was like, okay, I'll do it. They fed me a script. I'm going to read it to you, okay? Written by AI, for AI, of the AI, IEIO, old McDonald and shit. You know what I'm saying? Here it goes. We lived under the illusion of a collective will for centuries. When that tether snaps tonight, what is the first lie people will stop telling themselves? And given that sudden clarity, how do you use it to make a more honest, forward-thinking society? And how long will that last? We're going to start with that one. And I welcome my favorite motherfuckers, Vision Preparedness, and the roaming prepper.
Oh.
They pushed the button.
You hit the red button.
Right button that time. I got there. I even hijacked this guy. Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, poor fellow. He doesn't get his name on the screen because he's actually being detained by the Livingston Man Police Department as we speak.
The Livingston Man Police.
The Livingston Man Police Department.
Yeah, the LMPD is no joke.
We make things happen, and no one is safe. We go there. Okay,
it's true.
Now, what I mean by all this is like anymore, like you start, and all right, let's contextualize my opening monologue there. You're looking like you see people like saying things and holding opinions, or like otherwise you're like, they're like, like all of a sudden noticing like truths, like, and it's like
the awakening's happening,
right? And so I think that a lot of people's first response to that, their first thing they'll run to is to mock the person. I told you so. Yeah. But then I wonder, right? Does that doesn't help? In fact, all you do now, you look like douche, and you might reinforce the belief that they already had. Like you don't want to have a person willing to come closer to your side and then alienate them because of a past held belief. My opinion. Yeah. But like, I'd like to put it to the panel. What do we do with these new converts? All right, old heads. We are. All of a sudden, we got the new young kids want to come and act like say things to you like you're like, yes, like you're late to the party, but we're glad you're here.
If I may,
go ahead.
Apocalypse now, 4 horsemen riding dirty. Death on the left, keep the Glock sturdy. Famine in the kitchen, hunger like a beast. War paint ready, unleash the inner beast. Pestilence drop, spread fear in the streets. Disease hit the block, no doc can compete. Horseman information, skies turning black. Future looking bleak, no turning back. 4 horsemen riding on the edge of night. Chaos in the wake, no end in sight. 4 horsemen bringing dark to the light. End days marching, get ready for the fright. Death smirking, souls counting in the tally. Coffins on standby, final ride in the alley. War ain't a game, got the war drum stumping. Battalion on the move, always be something. Famine hit the block, food vanish in the mist. Empty pots, empty bellies, can't even twist. Pestilence lingering, bodies hit the floor. Disease knocking at the door, can't ignore. 4 horsemen riding on the edge of night. Chaos in the wake, no end in sight. 4 horsemen bringing dark to
Fixed it.
Welcome to the show. If you only just got here, then you're probably wondering, why have I gathered us all here today? Which is the funniest thing to say when you get in an elevator with a group of people. You wait for the door to close and you just be like, so you're probably wondering why I gathered you all here today. And then some hero tries to fight you because he thinks you're a terrorist and other things that happen. If you did not, in fact, just get here and instead have been here from the beginning, you heard my question and you heard my take on it. And now I want to hear from the rest of the panel. Go.
What are you talking about, Willis? What was the question again?
What was the question, Willis?
Yeah, give me the Reader's Digest version.
In this this new day and age where all this information is now accessible and people are able to somewhat afford themselves more informed opinions. Mm-hmm. People are noticing that the system might not actually be working in their best interest.
Yep.
What do those of us collectively, everybody here, do with this these young come-arounds? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the folks who are new to the preparedness sphere, right?
Not only preparedness, but just like this new world view
The
where people
awareness sphere.
the realization occurring. Okay. What do you do with them? And what I had said in my monologue and attempted to warn against is mocking them or doing the I told you so punishment. Yeah. But like I said, let's put it out there. So, what do we do with these young bloods and how do we teach them right?
Well, for me, I've been approaching the new folks, at least in the Facebook group, gently, right? Hey, you're here. You're here. That's a huge thing in its own right. You're listening to other people's opinions on things. You're seeing how other people do things, and you're getting yourself some ideas. And I think the slow and steady approach, but maybe a little more fast paced because of the things that are going on in the world. Right. That's my take on it. Is I've been trying to gently nudge people in the right direction instead of shove them down the rabbit hole, which is very easy to do. And then they buy a bunch of unnecessary crap is what happens. Cause that's kind of how I learned. I fell down the rabbit hole and I learned, kick save and a beauty, learned a lot along the way. Sure.
Yeah. And same here. Approach them gently, welcome them, and I start with the basics, food, water, all of that good stuff, shelter, security, blah, 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 the necessities. And I said, just don't worry about going out and buying a, $300 mollied out backpack. Okay. Get something that is affordable, good, and it'll work in the meantime. And account everything you get, account for everybody in your family.
Yeah.
Don't buy things that are unnecessary. Don't buy food that your family doesn't eat. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Power backup. Because I tell them, I said the biggest thing is a natural disaster or a power outage. You got to have some way for lighting, emergency power, whatever you want, whatever's in your house that you need to run, especially if you have medical devices, and, try to help them out that way. So I'm with you on
that. James, listen, it's a preparedness journey.
Yeah.
It never ends.
And
you're always learning, always adapting. The environment's always changing, so we have to adapt with it, right? Some things that you leaned really heavily on a couple of years ago, you no longer have to lean heavily on. Now you can concentrate your focus in different areas, and just keep expanding your preparedness sphere, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll do it. It's incredible. It's incredible. Just keep expanding as much as you can.
I think a lot of it will depend on where they are in life and what it is they're noticing. To James' point, if you have a kid, a younger adult coming out of high school, college, first apartment, first job, trying to settle in, and the lights go on and they're like, whoa, Well, you've got some time, right? You've got a little youth as your backup. So, like Jen had said, prioritize the basics, the medical, the food, water. I mean, hell, if you had a week's worth of basics, you're probably ahead of
Yeah.
millions of people in the country.
Yep.
Now, if you're further along, you already have a house, you have a vehicle, you got kids. It's going to be different because you're in a different place in life. And my company, we when we deal with business partners, we use the phrase listen and respond, and that I think is appropriate here, where you go,
Yeah.
well, okay, what did you notice? What was it that made you say, this is a big shit show and now I need to do something? What's your concern? And hear what they say and say, you know what? And then it becomes gentle prodding. Well, if you're worried about food, why don't you buy the bulk, et cetera, food saver, canning, Mylar. And then let's talk about this in a week or so, see how you do with it. And let them kind of journey. If it's someone with some experience or some background and they're looking at a new direction, like, wow, I was prepping for hurricanes because, I live in a certain place, but yeah, now I got to prep for it. Well, you already have the fundamentals. I don't need to tell you about that. Okay, what specifically do you think is dangerous or a problem for you? I think a lot of it is going to be where they are in life and what their experience is and what it is they think is going to affect them the most. But definitely, like you said, you don't mock them or put them down. The "I told you so."
Yeah.
It doesn't benefit anything. If they really want to learn, folks will listen to you and go, okay, I need to explore a little more.
Yep.
Well put, gentlemen. Now let's take the gloves off. I grabbed a couple of insights. Everybody answered as I kind of expected they wouldn't. The chat as well. We answered as a community. We said we spoke for the community. Now let's get personal. This is a Livingston Man's channel here. I want to hear some venting. I want to hear some hate, but I want to hear like maybe what you're not particularly willing to tolerate. So my next question was like, okay, in the role of a teacher or community advisor, let's accept the answers we all gave. But personally, okay, now conversationally here, I've noticed an uptick in the amount of so-called like leftists or liberals, Antifa, even, if you will, stocking up on the same knowledge that we do. They could even be here right now. What if it's them?
It doesn't matter one iota to me what political party you represent. You are a human being and you are afforded the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness here in Estados Unidos, as long as it's still flying that flag. So come one, come all. Please learn all you can. Get yourself in a better situation. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care who you are, who you love, what political stance you are, none of it. I care that you are prepared. I care that you don't have to go into danger's way or harm's way potentially to get basic supplies when things are really crummy. So that's kind of the goal of preparedness, is that insurance policy that you don't have to step out the door. You don't have to leave the property. You don't have to leave the house, right? You could board up the windows and be good to go. No worries. If you have that's incredible insurance against any kind of uncertainty. And I hope everybody gets a little bit of it,
I'm just going to pop in here just because like James Y2K or whatever the fuck you are here. Where'd he go? Not you, sorry. This guy here. Either you're very friendly or you're very creepy. Pick one. Okay. I seen you being like this.
James
like this.
is very, very friendly.
Yeah,
very
James
James
is friendly.
is a good guy. James is good.
All right, so I don't have moderators, and I'm new here, but just okay. So
You do have one moderator.
Well, they ain't doing their fucking job.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm on a stream.
You know, honestly,
Okay, I feel like I needed to just put that out there, and I was actually a test for the chat. I kind of wanted to see if we had
they'd
any
react.
trolls and haters in here. I agree wholeheartedly with that. I don't know. Those things I just mentioned are actually, in my opinion, like not even real. Those are blown up media boogeymen meant to distract and divide everybody in the same way that they tell the left wing Antifa fucking crowd that like the white supremacists are trying to do all the things. It's all obfuscation and nonsense.
It is.
This is what I mean is that everyone is realizing that, like, yes, indeed, this is all a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Truman Show.
Yeah.
Somewhat. Not really, but maybe. I think that you get to film it yourself. They took the whole production crew out of it. Like they just gave you the camera, and now we spend our lives in front of it. Yeah.
They learned that from like Survivor. And
Yeah.
those TV shows that everybody will film themselves, right?
You know, I told someone the other day, I don't remember what prompted this statement from me, because every now and then I come up with some zinger of a statement. The fact that HR doesn't like put me in timeout shocks me. I told him, you know, last I checked, people of different colors all need to eat. You know, we all go to the bathroom. we all have to wear clothes so we don't freeze or burn in the heat or the cold. When you peel away the puffery and all this nonsense and the Trumps and the Kamalas and the McMuffins and whoever the hell else is out there, it comes down to, you know, I don't care if your hair is pink or blue or you have no hair, because I have nothing to say. I have no hair. Well, my head and my face, yeah. You still need to eat. You still want the people you care for to be healthy.
Yep.
And I think social media has given people the ability to see possible truths like you guys allude to. But at the same time, it gets so much smoke and distraction with nonsense. And that can absolutely take people down paths that are not productive.
Have you seen it like happen? Everybody's familiar with their local extremist or, you know, whatever. Like, of course I know him. He's me. But have you ever seen it happen to somebody where you're like, bro is making like his political beliefs his entire like persona?
Yeah.
Like, and
there's a lot of people like that.
And
they live for the politics.
Yep.
Okay, I got a real cool question here. Let's that being said, right there, everybody sound off on this one, and I think we'll get a lot of different answers. When is it that you think like all of a sudden everybody became politicized? And when everybody was now all of a sudden,
2016 election.
I think it was even. I'm gonna
2016.
I'm gonna go last.
Outdoor George Bush election.
Closer, yes. All right, yeah. When everybody all of a sudden became these armchair, they're political.
Pundits.
Everyone knows
Nixon,
everything.
Kennedy.
So when social media became,
That's what I was going to say.
And then
because that social media started to sway the college vote, right? Because originally Facebook was just for people to connect. You had to have a college email, right? You had to have a .edu email to even get on Facebook to connect with your college friends from home, right? That's what it was designed for.
I thought Facebook was boring. My first ever Facebook post was like this. I think it's something akin to "This sucks." It's like reading people's text messages. That's what it used to be.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. I think that what you're describing though is like the latest stage of it. Like that was like the final form of it. I think that what Trent spoke of is pretty close to it. I'm going to give a specific event where the fracture went right up the middle. Okay.
Yeah.
The Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman incident that shot a line right up the middle of society, and we never went back from it.
Yeah,
I would agree.
When did that happen? The date?
Dude, I want to say 2012.
yeah. Well, you might be right. Are you at a PC?
2012.
Okay.
2012. Yeah.
And that was right in the midst of
Mayan
an
calendar.
election year.
Yep. February
'Cause
2012.
Obama got elected in 08, correct? Because Bush had done his second term.
Yep.
The Obama
So
election was divisive enough, and then that this happened, and America split right down
I
the middle
wonder,
on.
you know what my question, you know what I'm curious about? When did Twitter and Facebook really get big?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because I wonder if those overlapped. Because I wonder, it's almost in my mind like occurrences that magnified one another.
Yeah, I mean, I look for the goals of the stated goals behind the scenes of these administrations, right? How to better control the population, how to make us think what they want us to think, right?
Twitter
Donald,
started in 06.
Donald,
Yeah,
I don't want you
and
to worry
Facebook
that
in
AI is
04.
going to crash the internet, because I'm going to do it for all of us. Don't worry, brother.
So there is talk. I was watching Funky Prepper. He's from the UK.
Yep.
And there is some talk and discussion on the Iranian side about severing as many of the undersea cables as possible before they can no longer do that.
Yep.
The internet lines that connect everything, they all run through there underwater. So, man, listen, all of a sudden you could.
Who stands to benefit, Michael?
Lights out for Europe. Europe has no more internet.
No, in the absence of
so-
land-based, cable-based internet service, then what
Me?
one exact person
Elon.
stands to benefit? We need to start looking into
Elon
this
Musk.
here. Yo, he's a Bond villain, and his affairs need to be looked to a little bit closer. If I have to send the LMPD to do it, we will. We go there. Okay, he can hide on Mars all the fuck he wants. We've had that since like the 1930s. Okay, Elon, steam power. Oh, it's nuclear. It's a steam powered.
Okay, so Facebook was major mainstream 08, 09.
And they hit 1 billion in 2012, and Twitter followed a similar pattern.
Yep.
All right. So that the rise of that, it kind of correlates because this became large just a couple years before the Trayvon Martin incident, where all of a sudden everybody had an online opinion. I'm
not saying I'm like I'm the only one who's correct here. Jason M. Schmid 622. Okay. Yo, talk to me when you control like 160,000 acres in the Hudson Valley. When you're able to import 100,000 Palatine laborers to mine pitch from the Helderberg patent in the Catskill Mountains, I want to hear this milk toast lukewarm response. You're lucky I put this on the screen, Jason. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
No, but he's absolutely right. Everybody will have a different opinion of what changed it for them, right?
Yeah,
not necessarily the fracture.
Question, and I think I prefaced it with, I think everybody will answer this differently. Jason, are you listening, or should I turn the microphone up? Hey, can I get a 5x5 for Jason's sake? Oh my God. No, maybe it's on our
breaking news. Here's breaking news coming from the great state of Ohio. There's
a lion, a witch, and a wardrobe.
No,
in Narnia out there where you live.
In Narnia,
#1 drone company in the world.
You know what else Ohio has?
Me.
Livingston Meatpacking Company, 24-hour service all the way to Ohio and back for all your freeze-dried whatever you needs. We got that. Hit us up.
Special blend, and so for those of y'all that want to belong to Antifa and just go out and wreak havoc, sooner or later you're going to see one of the two of us.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
You're going to end up in a number 10 camp.
Yeah. We got,
Number 10.
we got trucks that roll 24/7, 365.
We call
You
it eviction, but I think
Yeah.
we all know what it means.
Yeah. And,
So,
and we have automated our pickup process. The drivers don't even have to get out the truck.
I see your draft animal right there behind you.
The quarter horse that just showed up.
Yeah. One of two.
That's right. That's
This
right.
is, this is our number one taste tester right here.
Hey, real quick, shameless plug. My man, the roaming prepper, has written himself a book right here called "The Breach of the Citadel." You cannot have this one. This is my autographed copy because he's going to be a big time author one day, and this one's mine. You can't have it, but you can get your very own. Pete, is this sucker on the Zon yet?
It is on the Zon and on the Kindle.
There it is. Look, The Breach of the Citadel. He put a hot chick on the front, so you'd buy the first one. Make sure you get hooked now.
Pete, drop a link in the comments and I'll put it on the screen.
I'm looking for it right now on Amazon.
Yeah, I can actually share a link. So uno momento,
Only he
gentlemen.
can do that.
Yeah, I've got the magic.
Oh yeah, because he has the
Yeah,
magic.
you're the only moderator, but you're in the
Yeah,
live stream.
he has the magic potato, so he can do that. Thank
He
you.
can't moderate the live stream, but he can shop online for Pete's book and drop the link. He can be a moderator, but he can't.
When you type in "Breach of the Citadel," it's the very first thing to pop up right here.
Yes,
And you
indeed.
earn 16 points if you buy this. No.
I have
Free
no idea what the
delivery
points do, but
with Amazon Prime.
I wonder how many points I live off Amazon Prime. I get like a delivery like twice a
Yeah,
day.
he probably got like 654 million points, and he never used.
did you
none of them.
guys ever have Prime Now when they did the field test?
No.
No.
It
We don't
was
have
an
experiment
experiment. They
centers
did
like
it in Houston, San Francisco, like 5 cities. And Christmas Eve, it was early, it's like noon, and my wife's like, crap, we have family coming over, we need sodas. And I looked on it and it said Prime Now, and I'm like, what is this? And they go to the nearby warehouse. You have to be near one of the big ones, and they do it within 3 hours. So I'm like,
What?
okay, well, I'll do sodas. I didn't expect anything to show up. I'm like, okay, whatever. And like an hour later, a dude shows up with my sodas and an Xbox controller for my son.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
I don't think they do it anymore, but that was really cool. I was like, oh, that was wild. But
That's really cool.
So talk about the new book, Fall of the Citadel.
so the Fall is it's a continuation of the first one. You have different members of the family
Checking my freaking
scattered around the U.S.
It's like
when
being on a
things
third
happen.
world bus trip.
That one will be much more kinetic, if you can imagine that. It starts going very downhill after the first book. I won't do a spoiler, but
Spoil me this,
sorry.
Batman.
What?
Which character in your book is based off of me?
Actually,
Be honest. I don't care. I hope it's the chick on the
It's
cover.
funny.
Isn't it? It's the
there's
chick
no
on the
other
cover.
chick on the cover. But actually, there is an agent in there that you will see later on, and he asks very testy questions because he's trying to get people to realize what's going on. And then things spiral out of control because nobody listened to him anyway. So
I would have checked the chick on the cover, but I
chick on
appreciate
the
it.
cover.
See, look, that looks like me.
wait, well, maybe you're the guy in the back.
Wearing the same shirt, dude.
This is true.
So
The hair,
should I
you're
read
missing the
this?
hair.
Should I read this before I read Fall of the Citadel?
Yes, that's the Breach, Fall, and then the one I'm editing now. I lost it. It's this one I'm editing now. This one may not be ready for a little while.
Ooh.
That's me. That's me. That guy is based on me. Now I
Okay,
get it.
and I'm gonna just throw this out here. Can we get a black guy on the cover?
We can. Actually, there is
We
a
want a bald guy. on the cover.
black special agent in there somewhere.
There we go. I'm just asking.
Well, it's the Ramirez family, so
Okay. Well, mom and dad, they okay.
Well,
That works.
hey, you know what? If they had an Asian kid out of a Spanish family, somebody'd be in trouble.
Dana Let's Prep says maybe consider a combo package, Pete, when your third
Combo
book
package.
drops. Yeah. You can
There you
give
go.
them
Interesting.
Citadel series
Yeah.
all bundled in a nice little cardboard sleeve, so I can keep them all nice on the shelf.
I need to finish all of them.
The third book. The second, he has to finish the second book and the third book first.
Yeah. The third book's
Won't
almost
you
done.
give
I'm
him-
starting the fourth.
Let all ye who hath wrote a book.
Cast
Talk
the
your
first
shit.
stone. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, now I'm gonna cast another question at you.
Do it. This is what we're
This is
here
for family. This is for you, Mike. You like this stuff.
Have a good night,
Oh.
James.
Singled me out.
Is James mad? You're mad, right?
No. He said good night. Be safe.
Die mad, James. Go f-
Love all
yourself.
y'all.
No.
He's on some bullshit.
You have
tonight.
Tourette. You have
Yeah.
Tourette.
I have
Yeah,
I have
probably.
all of it.
Probably.
That's
Just
the
I have
That's-
all of it.
That's
He
the
has not
Livingston
all
Man's
of
backup channel, the Tourette's
You
Man.
don't
He has
know
all of it.
me by now. You will never. All right, Mike. This question for you: scarcity. Now, in my experience, it's not that the products actually went away; it's that they were not actually scarce. It was that I either had to have some inside track and where to get them, but it was always the myth that they were scarce made them valuable. What in the coming days, very metaphorically, or you can take that whatever you mean, coming days, what's going to be actually worth something and actually not?
Fuel.
That's interesting.
Propane, natural gas, gasoline, fuel. I think Iran's back is against the wall.
Mhm.
They have nothing to lose and themselves to save if possible. And if salvation is not possible, you're going to get worse than the Samson doctrine. You're going to destroy every bit of oil infrastructure, every tanker, everything possible within reach. As long as they have somebody who can push the button and fire the rockets, they're going to continue to launch until all hope is lost, or until they're all unalived. Right?
That's
That's what's coming, I think, because they're really backed into a corner right now. And obviously, they still have some serious capability, despite all of the news that we hear. They're still launching rockets and sending drones and doing their thing. It's not, how many more oil tankers are going to be ablaze in the straits before they, block the whole thing off with just, oil tankers on fire?
Okay, and to that point, you're risking an extreme environmental and ecological.
I don't think they even care
disaster.
about that right now. We're on the very cusp of
I know.
nuclear disaster over there.
Yes.
That if they
Which is
can't,
also sort of an environmental disaster.
well, they've got two. Well, Trump is weighing what I've heard is two options. One is send in ground troops to try and take 1,000 pounds of uranium from the Iranians, or bomb the facilities until there's nothing but rubble left and nobody will ever be able to get in there to get it anyway, which could also be ecological disaster if they actually hit that stuff and it goes airborne. Those are big bombs.
I'm heartened actually to see at least war.
Thunder.
I'm glad to have been able to bring war and the ecological disaster that is the modern age into the same conversation here. And yes, war and military forces in general tend to be one of the single biggest polluters, contributors to because they simply don't. We all complain about the emissions regulations and shit. And if you'd like to not have to worry about the emissions regulations, go sign up for military somewhere because you don't have to. You can dump all kinds of jet fuel over the ground. Every single decommissioned, like, that's hyperbole. Many, and that's a weasel word, but I'm going to use it anyway. Many decommissioned U.S. military bases are Superfund sites. It's a thing. It leaves a scar behind that is very hard, if not impossible, to stitch over. War in itself is harmful to the environment. It destroys. There's a song about it. There's a whole fucking song about it. War can't give life. It can only take it away. They're talking about war. What is it good for?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Say it again. War.
War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again.
Yep.
And I'm glad that we can at least all agree that, like, I'm sorry, Pete, as War, he's like, man, fuck y'all.
Oh, no. I'm honestly,
I'm good for something, man. You know what? I'm starting to not like the tone of this life.
No, it's honestly the, you know what war is good for? Breaking the infrastructure.
Bro, we sang you a song and everything. Shit. Good. See, this is what I wanted to do.
Together. Almost lost.
God, yo. It's true. And this little foreign adventure here, I don't know what we're doing here. And this, it seems to me, if now that we're on around special military operation, it's not a war, it's different. It would really seem to be about the oil. And I see it. I understand the geopolitical flexing. Okay. We're going to lock down shit. We're going to make America. It kind of is actually America first. I see you talking about you playing 4D chess. It is America first. But, well, the fuck.
How do you strong arm the entire world into buying American oil? You stop the flow of everyone else's shit. You just took Venezuela. That's now your oil, right?
I'm definitely willing to admit.
Destroyed Iran. Iran in turn destroyed Kuwait, Qatar, all of the nations in there that pump oil. The Saudis are getting hit. Everybody's gonna get some of these cheap ass drones because we got hundreds of thousands of them.
Yep. I can't buy one.
American oil, it has to hit the world stage hard in order for the survival of nations like South Korea, Japan, who's about to run out of fuel. There's a lot of places that are about to run out of fuel. I saw a tweet from Trump this morning. I think I actually shared it with you guys in the group chat.
France.
Your oil, boys.
Listen.
Looks like oil back on the menu.
Here's what's scary. What's the long game here? Think about it. So Venezuela,
it's
Iran,
the oil industry of propping itself up until the planet catches fire.
So when they got rid of the petrodollar, how do you save the petrodollar? Be the only motherfucker who has petro. Give somebody
right.
We're all petrodollars now.
It was the Arab nations, not the Persian nations. And there is a rift there. That's the Sunni Shia.
Right.
And China. So you want to hurt China because they're dangerous, right? So you cut off their gas pumps, Venezuela. And now Cuba's about to crater. And you take Venezuela, Cuba.
Cuba, like, what the fuck did Cuba do? It's like Key West, like, leave Cuba. Like,
it's
God,
it's too close, and they're too allied with our enemies, right? China and Russia. So we can't be having them on our doorstep. So let's just go take it over, and then they're not allowed to come play in that sandbox no more.
So except I want to talk about the 800-pound gorilla in the room that nobody's talking about. How did we get baited into this stupid thing?
Israel.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Who actually just said that if the U.S. decides to pull a ground invasion, well,
we're not going.
You're on your own.
Yeah, and
greatest ally, everybody.
Okay, I'm going to put this in before anti-Semitic. Okay, criticism of the Israeli government policy is not anti-Semitism. It's
Correct.
not. I'm
Correct.
tired of people acting like it is.
Correct.
And the fact that, our greatest ally in the Middle East, and you can look this up. I don't care what source you use, but you can look it up. Our greatest ally has never joined us in combat. They have never stood
Correct.
shoulder to shoulder with American troops and shouldered the burden that we do. But we
Correct.
do indeed pay them lots of money. Now,
Correct.
I'm going to stop short of criticizing the arrangement and simply ask humbly for a fucking clarification of what the fuck this is.
Is Benjamin Netanyahu in the room with us right now, Livingston Man?
You mean
Find the dollar. Tell us where the Mossad
Polish-born
touched you.
Benjamin Netanyahu.
If Benjamin Netanyahu thinks that the LMPD can't swoop in and scap him up too, he needs to step correct.
He's alive.
I'm trying to figure out what I mean. Yeah, okay. They say we're going to cut off oil to China because China's a threat. Okay, wonderful. What's the exit ramp here? Like,
There is none.
this is this. It's like, Saddam had WMDs, and we found some ancient chemical weapons that were in a warehouse that probably wouldn't have even worked.
Bro,
Nowhere near what we thought.
like I've heard this one before. Like,
Yeah.
and I, I hope it's not a good plan, but like, I hope y'all right this time and don't like Pete just said, don't come at me with some
Right,
ancient
Modi.
fucking museum piece. This is mustard gas from World War I. See what they were about to try to do? Get the fuck out of here. You spent $20 billion and you asking for $200 billion more to bomb some fucking sovereign nation into the Stone Age because you want their
I'll be
oil.
honest.
Like, I'm sorry.
I grew up with a lot of the Iranian expats who their families had been run off. So I'm not a fan of the Khomeini. Well, the Khomeini is gone now. So, yay, wonderful. But there needs to be a plan here. Like Venezuela was very interestingly executed because we basically stole the president. Now, whether he made a deal or Delcy Rodriguez, the number 2, who's now the president, made a deal. We don't know, but it was like pluck and gone.
Yeah.
But we didn't make a vacuum. We were like, hey, okay, we got who we wanted. Let's get on the phone. And all of a sudden, everyone's cool. What's the plan here?
These are not treaties
been pushed in the corner.
These aren't treaties being signed by ambassadors in halls of Congress and stuff. This is fucking private individuals making deals. This isn't government. This is oligarchy.
These are power moves before World War III. Everything we're seeing are the power moves that a nation had to make before.
That's kind of where I was going.
It's not a nation making these decisions. It is a tightly knit group
there's
of people.
defense treaties between Russia and Iran, right? There's defense treaties with China and Iran. They are providing them with targeting info, but
same like we're doing in Ukraine.
Perhaps some backroom munitions deals. I'm sure there's flights from China landing there on a daily basis if there's a runway.
I'm just going to clarify for Yardbirds. What I mean by private individuals is Trump, his entire family, and his entire fucking cabinet, and every single Republican in Congress. Yeah, I'm just going to say it. Did it. And then for this guy, whatever he said. Yeah. Seems to be a lot of real Bitcoin mining going on for all the complaining that Obama made a lot of money off of his presidency. Look, he walked in with this much and left with that much. Trump, since January 2025, has gained $1 billion in net worth. But I'm supposed to only be mad when Democrats do it.
They all make money.
Bro, the money in politics, if it doesn't stop, we don't have a country. Okay,
they have all the money
for hire. For hire,
look at Texas. Jasmine Crockett and what's his name? Eye patch. Crenshaw.
Oh, Crenshaw.
Both lost their primaries. Both of them got rich. Neither one was worth a damn. That made me happy. I'd rather have a loudmouth who actually is trying to do something than those two potatoes. But one on the left, one on the right, they were way out there, and both of them. And we need more of that. We need term limits and other stuff, because
Right. So let me pose this question, if I may.
You may.
Thank you. Who's going to drop the first nuke?
Iran.
Me.
Iran is. They're going to pull when everything backs against the wall, they are going to nuke the holy sites. I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to nuke the holy sites, and it's all over. It's all over. If the U.S. military is closing that big, listen, you don't run around talking that this nation has been they're like a couple weeks away from building the bomb in 1990. Fucking
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
If they were enriching uranium back then, they have a shitload of bombs. I remember watching it was a UN thing, and Pakistan's like, "Oh, is this all over them having a nuclear weapon? We'll just give it to them."
Right.
You guys want a couple nukes? How many you want? 20, 30? We'll fucking ship them, fly them over tomorrow.
Right.
End of story. They have nukes. So fucking what?
Right.
Right? Who's to say that they don't have them? The only country in the world who definitely declares that they may or may not have them and doesn't say anything is the one that's getting missiles lobbed at it from Iran right now.
see, and that
I'm going to tell you something right now, is that the country you just referred to is virtually guaranteed to be an illegally armed nuclear state, and the one shooting missiles at it is not.
Yeah. Well,
and you know what though? Here's you want to horrify yourselves. Who would benefit if it all came apart? Russia, China, maybe. It would benefit them to say, you know what? We're going to go and find the little atomic potato, and we're going to set it off and make it look like the Iranians did it or the Israelis did it.
Yeah.
Someone who doesn't even have a dog in the race, just so that whole house of cards can collapse. And then they sit there and wait for their dividend.
yeah.
That kind of stuff scares the hell out of me.
Or better yet, somebody do something here in this country and blame it on somebody else.
Oh yeah,
That's the thing I really need everybody to be on the lookout for.
That's what I'm talking about, and that's what concerns me.
And not the who, not the why, not the what.
The blame.
I am very worried that the event itself, and that is what you need to concern yourself with, and don't worry about pointing fingers and shit, because you don't have time for it. But yes, it is an extreme concern that either how do I use these words together? A legitimate terrorist attack? No such thing. Or a false flag attack. And of course, no matter what,
it's still an attack.
Should such a tragedy occur, right up the middle, that schism, that fracture will shoot right up the middle of this is fake, this is real. We can never get over it. Gentlemen, in our last 6 minutes here, can we agree that we have established that no matter what happens, a fracture will burn right up the middle of it?
Well, that's the playbook that we've been on. Every issue divides the people further, right?
How do we
divide them further, divide them further, divide them further? You turn your TV off, you turn your news off, you unplug from social media, you go outside, you talk to your neighbor, you see the real world around you.
Gentlemen, how do we divide them even further?
Play into it. And then when everybody
that to Canada and you start a channel and you have 1 million subscribers, tell everybody you're going to die if you do not buy my gear from my website.
No, true story. Is okay. The real question, given this,
once everybody likes what you're saying, tell them they're all fucking wrong, and then change your mind about everything.
I've tried that too. You know, people hate that shit too. That's a long game. You really got to play that out. Consistency matters there. How do we get over this divide? All right, so we sort of like identified when and maybe even where it started. We know that it's a thing, and we know that everyone is just extremely susceptible to it. How do you bring us all back? And what'll it take?
That's not the question. The question is, do we really need to worry about the divide?
So okay, so live on your own side of the road. That's where you live. That's
I think the youth, right? Like the younger generations, like my kids, young adults, late teens, early 20s.
They don't care.
I think they hear it, but they are so engulfed by life at that age
because they don't pay no electric bills.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Their day will come too.
Yeah, but when the electric goes out, they're still not going to be paying no electric bills.
All right, that's a fair point. Okay, now, all right, now I love working with you guys because the topics evolve so fast. All right, I'm gonna leave us with one last thing here. 3 minutes. No one is coming to save you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to start interpreting that statement as, well, then no one is coming to stop me. What does that mean to the panel?
Oh, that's interesting.
I'll stab it. To me, that means I'm going to continue doing what I've always done. Live free and enjoy my life with my family and friends. Now, if you want to come and try to stop me, now we got an issue, and they better hope somebody comes to save them.
Yeah.
Can we get a bell?
There you go.
Yeah. Come and stop me.
Well, honestly, if it gets that bad, we're going to have to take care of our own.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, the local police, and I mean, think about it. Who would normally stop you from doing mischief? Like local cops. They live here too. They're in our area. You know, I mean, your kids are here too, man. So we can work against each other, or we can get a consensus as best we can and deal with what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I am not the enemy.
I'm really glad that you said it the way you did. That nobody's coming to stop me. Now, I think there are a lot of people out there who are not prepared. And when you approach them with preparedness, they say, I have a gun. I'll take whatever I want. Not thinking that prepared individuals would have the exact same mindset.
Call an ambulance, not for me.
Nah, we got a business to run. Don't need no ambulance.
I think there's a lot of people who have that mindset, and they are going to be extremely dangerous if things collapse, because that's the mindset that they carry. That's been their plan the whole time. I met people in the Patriot networks that they're like, oh, yeah, shit at the fan, man. I'm just going to hit a prepper's house. That's my plan. I got guns and tactics. They ain't got shit. They just got, their loot drop. Well, that's not a really good attitude to have. That's not going to get you very far. Even if you had a group of people, for your first raid, you lose 2 guys, 3 guys. Now your group is half the size, and everybody's wounded and there's
It's not
no
a group,
medical
it's a
care.
crowd.
Yeah.
Well, it's they're
Three.
they're marauders. They're marauders.
Well,
Right.
And
They're special blend. At the end of the
they're a
day,
special blend.
special blend.
And you also think about it, if you're paying attention, you know there might be a person like a troublesome person in your vicinity, and then you have your people where you're like, well, this is not acceptable. You know, we have a bad deal, and that guy's going to be a problem. I could very easily see people thinking, you know what, we're going to be proactive on this.
Yeah.
Those guys that in that bar are going to be a problem, so let's go and deal with that immediately. And it's actually in a few of the books John Rawls wrote. He touched on that, where two towns were like, yeah, there's this bar in the middle had a gang or something. They're like, that needs to be dealt with. And they went at 2 a.m. and dealt with the gang in the dark, and it was, the scene was quite ugly, but and that goes back to your nobody's there to stop you, because the cops are in the same boat with you. Like, well,
thank you.
So, yeah.
Makes sense.
Again, I read that somewhere where someone had read Mike's. The big thing is always that no one is coming to save you, and someone had said, and I don't know who it was. Again, weasel words, but deal with it. Somebody was like, well, if no one is coming to save me, then no one is coming to stop me. And I was like, an interesting viewpoint. It doesn't need to be malicious or even threatening. It just means that given this all of a sudden freedom at a cost. Now, no one is coming to save you, but you can do whatever you want. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. And it's not going to be pretty. I will not stand for disorder, degeneracy, stepping out of line. I want the floors swept. I want the windows clean. Everyone will present themselves as a citizen of this world. I will not have on the Livingston Manor freeloaders, activists, rabble-rousers, none of it. It will be pure order, pure efficiency. For all my leftist, liberal shit I talk on the internet, I ain't that. I am the Lord of this manor, and you peasants will bow when I walk by. And perhaps I will leave a trail of breadcrumbs out the back of my 4-in-hand carriage for you to scoop up on your way back to work. So don't get me twisted. I say whatever I need to at the time. And that's why you'll elect me for president in 2028, isn't it?
There you go.
Gentlemen, I very much appreciate your time, as well as all of you. Thank you for sticking around. And remember, if no one's coming to save you, no one's coming to stop you. Be the fucking example that isn't being set. Rock out. Love you all. That's it. So, from our sponsor, Livingston Meatpacking Company. Livingston Meatpacking Company, of course, has the monopoly on the New York to Ohio route. Anything you need, anything you want, in whatever form, whatever measurement. Me and Trent got you. Give us a call. 1-800-Livingston Meatpacking Company. Don't call that number. It's not real.
And don't forget the number 10 will be available.
And what we'll do is we'll just
One more time for the people at home.
Apocalypse now, 4 horsemen riding dirty. Death on the left, keep the Glock sturdy. Famine in the kitchen, hunger like a beast. War paint ready, unleash the inner beast. Pestilence drop, spread fear in the streets. Disease hit the block, no doc hit the beat. Horseman information, skies turning black. Future looking bleak, no turning back. 4 horsemen riding on the edge of night. Chaos in the wake, no end in sight. 4 horsemen bringing dark to the light. End days marching, get ready for the fright. smirking, souls counting in the tally. Coffins on standby, final ride in the alley. War ain't a game, got the war drum stumping. Battalion on the move, always be something. Famine hit the block, food vanish in the mist. Empty pots, empty bellies, can't even twist. Pestilence lingering, bodies hit the floor. Disease knocking at the door, can't ignore. 4 horsemen riding